Hey everyone, it's me, Jeffrey, and I'm here to tell you about the day every McDonald's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee will simultaneously shut down. It was over the summer, 2 years ago, I believe. Possibly last year, but I don't know. I haven't gotten anything on my time hop about it yet, so I don't know. I was, if you were watching my Taco Bell story, I wasn't driving at that point. I am driving at this point. And I was driving with a friend of mine. And we used to go on these things called midnight drives. And that's a whole other story for a different video about what those were and what those entailed and stuff. But one thing we would do is we would get food while we were out, because we were usually driving for, 5 to 8 hours, and we would get hungry. So one of the go-tos, we both knew our orders at McDonald's pretty well. So it was easily just pulling up and then ordering and then leaving. Well, this was in the late 2010s, and not many 20-year-olds, if anyone is viewing this without this knowledge, I guess I'm clarifying, carry cash on them. We have different cards, or we use apps like Venmo and PayPal and Cash App and stuff to pay for things, simply because keeping track of a lot of cash is just it's hard to do, and there's no need for it. So whenever we went to these drive-thrus, we never had cash on us. We pull up to a McDonald's, and they say, hey, listen, we can only take cash right now. We can't take cards. And we're like, okay, that's fine. Have a good night. We'll just go to the next nearest McDonald's. There's 174 in Murfreesboro. So we had plenty of time, and we had, plenty of McDonald's to choose from. So we went to the next closest McDonald's. And we said, hey, this is our order. And they said, hey, listen, we can only take cards right now. But if we can only take cash right now. But if you have a card, we can't help you. And we thought that was weird, because that was the same problem the other McDonald's had. And then we go to the next closest McDonald's, and they have the same problem. So there's no one behind us, there's no one in front of us. So I asked, and I said, hey, is every McDonald's system in Murfreesboro down right now? And I learned that the card reading system for McDonald's is either done by franchise, or done by groupings of zip codes or something, to save basically money. There's one system that contains them all, instead of separate systems for each restaurant. And that at 3:30 a.m., which is the lowest time McDonald's has customers, according to corporate, the system will take about 5 minutes to update. It will just be ready for the next day, or whatever it is. And they said the system crashed during the update. So there's no unless you have cash, we can't read cards. We can't verify that cards aren't being declined, aren't stolen, any of that. And so I said, wow, so what's the is there an order to the McDonald's that the systems will be brought back online? Because we were hungry, and we didn't want to. When you go home, you might as well just stay home when you're out at 3:30. So they said I can tell you the place that's not going to be up is the Veterans McDonald's. And we asked why, and they said, oh, because there was a fire there today, and they had to close early. And our curiosity was piqued, and I said, all right, you have a good day, or good night, or good morning, whatever. And then we went to the Veterans McDonald's, and I heard the welcome to McDonald's. Can we take your order? And I said, hey, no, listen, don't worry about it. I just learned that all the McDonald's systems have been shut down, and we listed off like the McDonald's locations we went to and the responses we got. And I said, and we said we're like, we heard there was a fire. Like, what was that about? And they said it was just like, it wasn't like that big of a deal, but it was like enough to close down for a little bit just because of safety reasons and everything. And so we were just like, yeah, you know, that's really sucks. But like, you know, I hope like everything works out and stuff. And the McDonald's employee said, like, what was the order you wanted to get? And so we quickly surmised that they were about to give us whatever our order was for free, but we didn't want to just get a whole, like, big order of McDonald's. So we were just like, we just wanted, like, 2 cheeseburgers. And the McDonald's employee was like, yeah, come on, I got you, don't worry about it. And we're like, oh, sweet. And we got our 2 cheeseburgers, and we started driving. And we talked about how cool that was and like how weird it was that every McDonald's was shut down. And then we ate the cheeseburgers and they were really bad because we hadn't thought that we hadn't put together that, you know what, these very well could have been under the lamp for hours. But yeah. And so I learned that now most McDonald's are no longer 24-hour anymore, at least in the area. This was before they did the 24-hour breakfast. So when they started making breakfast after the system update, so you could only buy breakfast like after theoretically 3:35 until like 10 a.m. or whenever that hour is. So we literally got like the last of the burgers cooked for me the day before. But, yeah, just a little interesting fact. And like I ended my Taco Bell video, I implore you, if you ever go to a drive-thru or a restaurant and you do not get the food you need or want or any of that, like being mean to the workers and the waiters and stuff is not the way. Like, save your receipt, send an email, like, you know, contact a manager or something. But like screaming and yelling and talking about how this is America and you've inconvenienced me for the last, any of that, it's just really poor etiquette, and it makes you look like a big old ass. So, yeah, just keep that in mind next time you go getting your Big Mac, McNugget, Whopper, Donald. Alrighty, well, I've talked about fast food a lot, and now I'm thirsty because like it's like even talking about McDonald's just like there's salt just accumulating in my mouth. Anyway, yeah. Alrighty, I love you very much, and be well. Bye-bye.